Welcome to our channel. My name is Tracy and I'm the keeper of our home here at 4D Farms, where we're all about faith, family, home, and farm. Y'all come on in and see what we're all about, because we want our channel to encourage you and inspire you on your journey. If you see something that you like, please give it a thumbs up, hit that like button. That helps our channel grow and reach more people. If you want to subscribe, and if you think other people can benefit from our videos, please share them. Y'all, we hope to see you in each and every video, and most of all, thanks for watching.
On today's episode, we're going to do cured bacon. We're going to home cure this bacon ourselves. So we're going to start out, we've got 4 pounds of uncured pork belly that we got off of one of the hogs that we killed. Now, depending on where you live, you can search online to figure out where to buy this pork belly at. You can get it maybe from a local butcher or from Costco. Here when we have a hog kill, we just have the slabs cut and we cure our own bacon. So today we're going to start off with our cure, and this is going to be a long process. It takes 7 days of cure, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator. After the cure, we'll rinse it off. We'll put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours or close, and then we'll take it out and smoke it. We're looking for, on our smoke, we're looking for an internal temp of 155, so between 150 and 155. So it takes about 8 or 9 days for the complete process. But starting out with our ingredients that we're going to use for our, now this is called a dry cure that we're going to be using. We're going to use 4.4 grams of this #1 preg powder, and you can find this on Amazon. That's where we purchased it. We'll try to put that link down below, but it's #1 preg powder. And then you want 2.22 ounces. Now, you can use kosher salt. I'm using a true salt. It's a flaky layer sea salt. So that's what I prefer on this. We're going to be using 1.12 ounces of cracked peppercorns. We buy whole peppercorns. We have grinders, and we grind it up ourselves. It gives the best flavor when you grind it up yourself instead of buying it already pre-ground. And then we're going to use 2.78 ounces of brown sugar. Now, this is a Caribbean brand brown sugar. It's just what you can use any regular brown sugar, but this is just what I prefer to use on our bacon. And then we're going to use 1.5 ounces of maple syrup. Now, we may have to add some water to get this all mixed up like we need to, but we're going to use 1.5 ounces of maple syrup. And if you don't have one of these little scales, I mean, it reads in ounces and pounds, it reads in grams, milliliters. Pick you up one of these little scales at Amazon. They're not very expensive, $10 to $15, but it will make you putting together your spices and seasonings, it will make it a lot easier to measure out. Now, all we do is, I've got a bowl here with our maple syrup, and we're just going to take our dry ingredients that I listed, and we're just going to incorporate that into our maple syrup. And like I said, we're going to whisk this up. Sorry guys, I had to find something to mix this up with. So we're going to mix this up real good. And like I said, you may have to add water because there's a lot of dry ingredients with just a little bit of maple syrup. So it's gonna, but you don't want it too watery because this is a dry cure, so you want it to stick good on the meat. You just may have to add just a little bit of water. We want to get all of our ingredients, and your salt and your brown sugar is gonna kind of melt too in with this, and it's going to create a little bit of moisture. So mix this up real good, and we'll get just a little bit of water, warm water, to kind of help melt the brown sugar and the salt. And you want it to be like a paste, so that when you rub down your pork belly, you can get a good coating on it. Okay, we got that incorporated pretty well. That's our paste that we're going to put on. It's a little liquidy, but it should rub on this pork belly really good. Okay, after you get your pork belly out, you're gonna have some, depending on where you buy it at. You could have a lot of fat, you could have a little fat, or you could have skin on or skin off. I prefer to get it with skin off. That's the way I tell our butcher. Sometimes the thickness of the fat is thicker. It's thicker on one side than it is, say, on this side here. So I just kind of, all I do is I just kind of trim that fat evenly across to where it's kind of level or kind of even all the way across. So when I do my smoke, I get a good even smoke on it. Also, I like to take a knife. This is just from smoking hounds and stuff like that. I've kind of figured this out. I just take my knife and I just kind of score through that fat. It's not going to hurt your bacon whatsoever. I just kind of score through that fat, just some quite a few lines through there. And then once I get it scored that way, then I'll come back and kind of cross hatch it and score this way. So that way, when I put my cure, I'm going to rub it down inside of these slits, and I'm going to get it down closer to the meat instead of trying to make it penetrate this fat. Fat is really dense, so it's hard for marinades and rubs like this to really penetrate. So you want to kind of give it a little bit of a heads up and a hand and let it and score it so you can kind of get it rubbed into that meat itself. So once we do that, once we get it scored and get our fat off that we want, we're just going to take a vacuum seal bag. Try not to get anything around the little edges, and we'll take a vacuum seal bag. Trying to self-film and trying to do all this with one hand. Not very good opening these kind of bags, but take our pork belly. We're going to slide it into this bag here. Get your bag deep enough so you'll have a good, make sure you get a good seal on it. Okay. And once we do that, we're just going to take our mix, our cure, And just take it and just pour it into the bag. Just pour half of it on the front, save you some. And we'll take and just rub this down real good. Make sure you get all the edges. Make sure you get all that coated real good with this cure. I found it easier and less messy to do this in the bag than to try to do this on a cutting board or a work table. I found it a lot less messy to do it this way. Just rub it down inside the bag, and then you have zero mess to clean up. So we got one side, okay. Now this side here is the whole meat side here, so there was no need to score anything. Then we take the rest of our marinade. Just gonna dump it in the bottom of the bag. Try to make sure we get all of that salt and the curing salt, brown sugar, try to get all that in the bag. I know I'm making a mess. I said maybe I should have said minimal mess instead of no mess, but we're gonna rub this down really, really good. We're gonna get that cure on every square inch of this meat, this pork belly. Okay. So once we get this cure, rubbed in, we're gonna vacuum seal this thing up. We're going to put it in the refrigerator for 7 days. Now, it's important that every day, every 24 hours, you rotate this bag. You take and flip this bag over. Because you're going to have moisture collected at the bottom, so you just take it and flip it over, and then you'll have moisture collected at the top. So do that every single day. Also, you see I did trim some fat to make it level, so it'll cook evenly when I smoke it. Don't throw this away. There is a use for it. You can melt it down. This is most of the pure white fat, so you can melt it down. You can use it in as your grease, or you can actually grind it up with say a pork shoulder or something. You can throw this extra fat in there and make sausage, or pork sausage or Italian sausage. There's a lot of uses for it, so don't throw this away. Okay, so we're going to grab a napkin here, and I got some juice inside my bag where my sealing part's going to be. So I'm just going to take that. I'm just going to rub this down really, really good. So when I get ready to seal this, I don't have anything prohibiting a good seal. Now our food saver, we have a food saver vac, so we'll put that on the description down below as well. Get that off Amazon. And we've had several food saver vacuum cleaners, vacuum sealers, and they work really, really well. But I'm going to come over here to my vacuum sealer, and I just want this to seal up. I don't want to put it on a dry because it's going to suck it down too much. I want this moisture to be able to roll around and continue to penetrate this meat. So lift up the lid. I've got it on moist. And it's going to pull some moisture out. I'm going to pull it up toward the top of the bag. Okay, so we're done good there. It didn't go all the way up to the top. Okay, so we got a good seal, verifying the seal is good all the way across. And like I said, it's not vacuumed down real tight, so we got a little bit of air movement in there so this cure could work. So like I said, just take this meat, we're gonna take it and we're gonna put it in our refrigerator, and we're gonna let it set for 7 days. And every day, we're gonna take it and we're gonna flip it over and let it set for another day. And we'll do that for the whole 7 days. After the 7 days is done, we'll pull it out, we'll wash it, all this salt, all this brine, we'll wash it all off. And then we'll put it back in our refrigerator for 24 hours and let it get a little pellicle type. It'll dry, so it'll take smoke better. So we'll see you in 7 days, and we'll start the washing, the seasoning off process. All right, guys, we're back after our 7 days of cure. We've pulled it out of our brine solution, and we rinsed it off real good. We cut a slice out. This is your brine. You can see how the Prague powder penetrated. So it penetrated all the way through. So after we washed it off, we cut a couple slices, fried them up, and just to see what the salt taste was. And it was a little bit too salty for us, so we just put it in a bowl of water, let it set, let it soak for a couple hours, and rinsed it off again real good. And then cut a piece off, fried it, and tested it, and we was happy with that combination. So we're at the end of our 7 days. We're going to let it dry on this rack. We're going to put it in the refrigerator overnight. Tomorrow we will start our smoke. We'll start out at 180 for probably about an hour or two, just to help open up the pores and let it get smoked. And then we'll go to 200 for our cook, and we're going to cook it on an internal temp of 150 is what we're shooting for. So depending on how long that takes, probably 3 or 4 hours after we bring it up to 200 degrees. Then we'll come back to you after we do our smoke. All right, guys, we're waiting on our smoker to come up. Today we're using the Pit Boss vertical smoker, as always. We have our smoking tube inside that we put our pellets in. We're also using our meter block. We've got 2 probes inserted, one on each side. These are really great devices, especially if you got Wi-Fi or even a Bluetooth. You can sit in the comfort of your own chair and check your temp. It has alarms. You can set it for different temperatures to go off. So we'll post that link down below for these meter blocks. You can buy the individual thermometers, or you can get the actual meter block, and it comes with 4, and it's rechargeable, has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. All right, guys, here we are. We've hit our 150 internal temp back out at the smoker. Also today we're using our smoke tube. We filled it full of our favorite pellets. That's what she's looking like, guys. You see we got our meter probes there. So we're going to take this off the smoker, we're going to take it in the house, and we're going to let it chill just a little. All right, guys, here we are. We brought our bacon in from the smoker. As you can see, we got a good smoke on it. It was a little over 3-hour smoke, and we put butcher boar blend on the top as our seasoning, just to kind of give a little extra flavor. We're going to let this rest, cool down just a little bit, and then we're going to wrap it in saran wrap to help preserve some of the smoke, and then we'll bring you back. All right, guys, we're back. We've done our 7-day cure, put it in the refrigerator overnight. Now it's time to slice. After you put it in the refrigerator, you get this little hard pinnacle on the outside. I'm just going to cut that off. I'll actually put this in my grind for something later. This is what you end up with. You can see the pink color in the meat where the cure actually penetrated and worked. It smells really awesome. You can cook this traditional way in a pan. You can put it in an air fryer. I'm actually going to smoke these at 300 degrees and get a little bit extra smoke flavor. So like I said, you can this is a Dow Strong meat slicer knife. You can do it with a knife. You can do it as thick or as thin as you like. And I just firmly press down. Like I said, the meat is chilled. And just drag it across. Try to do it in one slice like that. And that way you get pretty easy, even slices. You can also use a meat slicer. Just start out, unless you've got a big commercial meat slicer, start out with a small piece of meat like this, 4 pound, and you can use it that way. Just make sure your meat is chilled when you get ready to slice. It makes it slicing a lot easier. So we're gonna finish slicing this up. We're gonna package it, vacuum seal what we're gonna use later, and then we're gonna put this in the smoker for what we're gonna use for breakfast tomorrow, and we'll come back to you after it's done smoking. All right, guys, here it is, final product. We smoked this bacon for 300 degrees on the smoker for about 30 minutes. We were enjoying it with our breakfast this morning. It tastes awesome, not too salty, really good flavor. Thank you for watching our channel, and thank you for tuning in to smoking and making your own bacon.